Morning. Let's see. So I think Megan Mercury is going to speak over the intercom at the school. Some of you know that a terrible thing almost happened to my house and my family this weekend, she announced. But it didn't, thanks to a very brave person who might be listening right now. If you're out there, super kid, please come forward and let us thank you properly. While she was, they all applauded, not wildly, but politely and with respect. By the time it was over, Donovan was bright red, and you could see his carotid artery pulsing in his neck. We had an assembly that morning. Our superintendent, Dr. Schultz, you might remember Dr. Schultz from last story, made another plea for the super kid to come forward. Now, I know you're a modest young man, and it might be embarrassing or uncomfortable to be made such a fuss of, but just as you were generous with your courage when you saved that house, we're asking you to be generous with yourself. Don't deprive your Hardcastle neighbors of a hero who can unite us all. Walking out of that assembly, I felt so bad for Donovan, I could have wept. I tried everything to console him. Don't worry, Donovan, all these people, Schultz, the police, Megan, they're just fishing. I've analyzed the situation from every angle, and there's no way anybody could put the two of us there. You know, they don't think you're that guy. In the thinning crowd exiting the cafeteria, those two boys named Daniel sauntered over to us. Hey, Donovan, called Daniel Newsombaum. How was your weekend? Do anything special? Added Daniel Sanderson. Maybe, because remember, who saw a guy with a metal chair walking and then called Donovan? You know, apple picking, video games, clipping your toenails, saving a house from going up in a fireball. I was so shocked I almost blacked out, but Donovan wasn't even surprised. Shut up, you guys. I'm in big trouble if this gets out. But, I stammered to both Daniels. How could you know? Oh, please, Daniel Newsombaum told me. I saw you over on Staunton Street Saturday morning dressed like a circus clown, so I called Donovan to keep you away from hashtag. And lo and behold, there's an almost catastrophe on the same street at exactly that time. Who do we know who's crazy enough to jump into a runaway propane tanker? He wasn't being a hero, put in D. Sanderson. He was just being Donovan. That made me mad. Donovan was so a hero. I mean, I dropped my voice, if he did anything, which of course he didn't. Donovan held his head. I wish I'd never seen that propane truck. Nice talk, D. Newsombaum clucked. Sure, a whole family might get barbecued, but Donovan's not in a heroic mood today. Obviously, I don't regret saving the house, Donovan interrupted, but now nobody's going to rest until they find the super kid. Not Megan, not her family, not the cops, not Schultz. I'm going to swipe Brad's fatigues and deploy back to Afghanistan in his place. I'll have to spend the rest of my life hiding out in his tank. That's the only place they won't look for me. How do I get myself into these messes? Oh, pick me, D. Sanderson waved his hand. Remember that time at the preschool book fair when you dumped all the super glue into the Clifford suit and Mr. Bagaggio got stuck in it for 3 days? D. Newsombaum sighed. Good times. Remember the money we raised went to pay for a new Clifford suit because they had to cut a hole in the old one so that he could go to the bathroom? Were glued together. Now you're afraid someone's going to find out you're the super kid. Don't say that word, Donovan pleaded. What word? Dean Newsombaum asked innocently. Oh, you mean super kid? Don't worry. You definitely won't hear me saying super kid. And the two of them danced off down the hall, chanting, super kid, super kid. The bell rang, sending us to our next classes. I watched Donovan trudge away, slumped under the weight of his worry. He seemed to trust the two Daniels, even though I found it hard to, since they were doing the polar opposite of what they'd just promised. Maybe that was because the three of them had been friends since preschool. Maybe I was missing something. No, that couldn't be it. I owed so much to Donovan. If it hadn't been for him, remedial classes would be a distant dream for a guy like me. I'd still be in the gifted program getting straight A's and hating them. He would be the person who first showed me YouTube and opened my eyes to a whole world that couldn't be predicted by mathematical equations or scientific formulas, not even by me. I had to find a way to help him. Ooh, that's the end of chapter 9.